The U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday ruled unanimously that the excessive fines clause in the Eighth Amendment applies to state and local governments. Announced in an opinion written by Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on her second day back on the bench following a December cancer surgery, the ruling limits states' abilities to seize property and impose fines deemed excessive on citizens who break the law. The Mind Unleashed reports that other justices were highly critical of property seizures and fines, with Justice Clarence Thomas suggesting that civil forfeitures had become widespread and highly profitable. Despite their intentions of sweeping the deaths of Dennis and Regina Tuttle under the rug, the Houston Police Department has currently under the microscope of the nation. And the Free Thought Project reports that the FBI is stepping in, as well as Houston area prosecutors, who will examine 1,400 other cases which are linked to the cop who fabricated evidence to spark the raid that led to the couple's death. Support for Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow reporting for this Thursday, February 21st, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Turning to Capitol Hill, House Republicans are considering their own version of the Violence Against Women Act. The GOP hopes their new no-punch Pretty Lady bill will finally help the party appeal to female voters.
No punch, no rape. Pass law. Women give big smiles at us again. Big votes.
Among its statutes, the bill would introduce harsher penalties for putting fists to women's face and proposes that if ladies smell nice like flowers, no smash lady.
And what if Pretty Lady Al-Qaeda? What if she death panel? What if she Benghazi? Yes, in some cases, punch lady.
In addition to increasing funding to shelters for crying ladies hurt from doing sex with bad guys, the bill also includes a clause complimenting the nation's women for losing weight.
And in other headlines, Lady Gaga kidnaps Commissioner Gordon. A man who likes to move it is still searching for the perfect song. And Rod Stewart is mistaken for an elderly aunt.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. We're coming to you live tonight like we do every night, 365 days a year, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Thanksgiving. It doesn't matter to us because what's important to us is to talk about freedom and talk about liberty and talk about what's on your mind. You can find us at 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Or you can hit us up on Discord. Discord is a very cool app. You can find more on that at discord.lrn.fm. You can call us that way, and you'll sound like you are right here in the studio with us. And the us in studio today is myself, Chris.
I'm Ian.
And we're talking Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which I just like to say.
Really?
I don't know why that is.
You got a thing for her?
There might be a little something there. She's kind of cute.
Except on the inside.
Except on the inside and especially on the political side and the socialism side.
That's what I meant.
I can find 50 other things that I don't like about her. But apparently I'm not the only one. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been slammed over an anti-Amazon push in New York City. This time it's a billboard which says, "Thanks for nothing."
So wait, this is her billboard?
No. This is a very prominent. Evidently, it's in this little spot of New York. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Times something.
Yeah,
Times Square.
Yeah.
Right. So a group has rented a very large billboard in Times Square.
Okay, I imagine you're going to explain why it is she's being slammed over a billboard that's not hers.
I will do. Well, the billboard itself is slamming her.
Oh,
that would be the
I
point.
see.
Yes, she's not too popular. Why she's not popular is she has successfully driven Amazon from building in Long Island City, which is right across the river from Manhattan, on the eastern side in Queens. They were only going to bring something like 25,000 jobs, and there was, in her mind, it was just a payout to the rich. And I understand that part of it, where Amazon is being offered, billions in tax bennies and stuff like that.
They don't have to pay taxes for X number of years, likely. It's one of those things.
That's exactly what it is. And
that's my guess.
I think the total that the people of New York were going to kick in was something like $2.5 billion. And the estimates were Amazon would bring in somewhere around $27.8 billion.
In what, tax revenue?
Tax revenue. So that's where it is. But a lot of people are upset that she kind of shot this down. In the end of the people there, they were like, what's important here was the 25,000 jobs that are now going somewhere else. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is getting some negative reviews in her home city. Fresh off helping drive Amazon's planned headquarters of New York City, the rising Democrat star has inspired a billboard in Times Square. American pullout, thanks for nothing, AOC, the billboard located on 42nd Street.
American pullout or Amazon?
Amazon pullout.
Okay.
Located on 42nd Street near 8th Avenue reads.
So now, just to be clear, maybe I missed something. What exactly did she have to do with Amazon leaving New York?
She rallied her troops.
I see.
Rallied her social democrat followers and things like that to, we've got to oppose this. This is evil Amazon. They're a big corporation. We can't have big corporations in New York.
We only need the big corporation of the state of New York, because that's also a corporation. But nobody ever critiques on the left that particular corporation.
Right. And why would they? That's what they're looking for. They want the state to be stronger.
Sure. Well, it's their corporation, the one they want to run.
Right. That's exactly it. The High Visibility Blast is funded by Job Creators Network and will be up for all to see until next Wednesday. The Amazon pullout is a perfect example of what we've been saying. Socialism takes and capitalism creates. Alfredo Ortiz, JCN president and CEO, said in a release on Wednesday. The quote, the economic consequences of the HQ2 termination give America a small taste of the harm that is to come if Ocasio-Cortez's anti-business canon comes to fruition and is made federal policy.
Well, if you like business, then you probably shouldn't be in New York. I understand there's a lot of money there. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand the attraction of why businesses want to be in New York. You want to have your, Times Square studio if you're in radio or whatever, right?
Sure.
So I get it, but it's the least free state of all the 50 states by far.
Yes.
So, if freedom is even of a slight value to you, then you probably want to pursue whatever your business interests are elsewhere. There's plenty of other places, and almost all of them are better than New York, and New York City specifically.
Yeah, and a lot of the companies you see that are, with New York addresses, where are they actually domiciled? Delaware, Wyoming, you know what I mean? So,
sure.
So it has...
You mean the corporation? Where was the corporation formed?
The corporation itself.
Yeah.
But a lot of companies will talk about their New York... God, what was... I was trying to remember. It was a company I worked for. But we had a Fifth Avenue address. That was one room that corporation rented. And it like had room for a receptionist.
Yeah.
And it had a conference room. That was it. There was nowhere for anybody to work. But, we were able to put on, the business card, Fifth Avenue.
And that was a big deal. Fancy.
It does.
Yeah.
So maybe consider doing that, 855-450 free.
That's our toll-free number.
Yes, It is our toll-free number. That's how you can join the conversation and talk to us.
Do kids know what toll-free even means?
I don't know. I was thinking about that.
If you're under 18 or something like that, or 21, do you even know?
So here's my senior moment today. I was talking to a lady in Ohio, and we talked for a little bit.
We'll get to that story, hopefully.
Hopefully we will. But she had to run out, and she said, just give me a call back. And I called her back, and I got one of her employees.
Yeah.
And I said, if she wants, she can just call me back. And I gave her our business number. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, that would be a long-distance call for her. I'm like, is that even still a thing? Do people even still think about long distance?
Yeah, not so much anymore. I mean, though, if you still have a landline, those are still subject to a lot of the old phone system rules. Now, they're not as egregious as they once were,
right?
No doubt about it. And it's easier now to get, unlimited calling packages for those types of phones.
Right.
But
if you don't,
I still have a basic phone line in this studio that one of our codecs which is our audio transmission method, is hooked up to as sort of like a backup. Okay. And I don't pay for any long distance capability of that, so I've got like the basic $25 a month line. If it cannot dial long distance.
Oh, it doesn't even have the option.
Correct. You cannot dial outside of the 603 area code.
No kidding.
You can do toll free, but that's it.
Interesting. So
probably 900s, but who does? I mean, do people do that? Somebody must still,
You're
right?
looking at me like, no, I'm sorry, dude, I don't.
That was back in your day, man.
It was. Man, took forever to get that phone bill paid off, too. 855-450-FREE is our toll-free number, so you don't have to pay. That's 855-450-3733. Back to Ocasio. It comes after Ocasio-Cortez vigorously defended her role in sinking Amazon's move.
So she's claiming it. She's saying she had something to do with this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And a lot of people are crediting her with this. So she definitely did. Defending her role in sinking Amazon's move to New York City on Tuesday in the face of bipartisan criticism, claiming the deal would have been, quote, one of the biggest giveaways in state history, unquote. And would have priced
one of the biggest
people.
Giveaways.
Yes.
Does that mean they're giving away too much tax bonus, basically? Like giving too much to Amazon is what that is? Is that a critique of that?
Here's the critique. The critique is that Jeff Bezos is the most wealthy person in the world.
I've heard that.
Wealthiest by far.
Congratulations.
He's ahead of Bill Gates, ahead of Warren Buffett.
He's earned it. I mean, he's really changed how things get delivered and products are ordered.
How we shop, how we review items. There's so many innovations that have come from Amazon. But you've given him something worth money, and he's a billionaire, so he doesn't need it. In her mind, we are taking food out of the mouths of the poor
what you did was
Jeff Bezos.
You took food out of the mouths of the people who would have gotten the jobs in New York.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to get those jobs somewhere.
Oh, they will. And a lot of those jobs are going to go to the Northern Virginia area, and I don't know if they're going to do another one. Again, 855-450-FREE is our toll-free number. Give us a call and let know what you think.
Mike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up, and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. Smart Cash also features smart rewards, a price stabilization mechanism, and a way to encourage long-term holding. Long-term holders are key to the project's success. You can earn smart rewards on any address for which you hold the private keys, which holds at least 1,000 smart for 1 month and does not make any outgoing transactions during that time. Smart rewards are distributed every 47,500 blocks to all eligible addresses. Learn more at smartcash.cc.
You want to know the 37 items you must have to survive a crisis? Then I've got some good news for you. Former CIA officer and New York Times best-selling author Jason Hansen is now giving listeners a free copy of his book, The Escape Bag Blueprint, 37 Items You Must Have to Survive a Crisis. You can claim your copy at freeescapebook.com. Don't delay. Jason reveals the guns, knives, flashlights, and water filters that could save your life in an economic collapse or grid-down event. Get your free book today, freeescapebook.com. freeescapebook.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in 1 application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. And if you'd like to join us, if you'd like to let us know what's on your mind, if you have comments or questions or thoughts on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez facing a huge billboard on Times Square, give us a call. And it's
now, who's behind the billboard? I don't know if you mentioned that earlier.
I did. Let me get the organization's name again. It is Job Creators Network. And this billboard will be up all week. Well, excuse me, it'll be up until next Wednesday. So
okay.
Not this Wednesday, but
I wonder
next
what that
Wednesday.
costs. I wonder what it costs to have a billboard for a week in Times Square.
A lot?
Yeah, I bet it does.
I would assume that's got to be some pretty expensive stuff. And they show a picture of it here in the story, and it's not small. It shows, you can see some other, like the sign for Ripley's Believe It or Not is behind it. And it looks like it's something like twice as large as that. So,
I wonder if there are small billboards you can even get on Times Square. I mean, I imagine the real estate there is fairly big for everybody.
I would imagine. And she's been very critical of Amazon going to New York, and for New York offering Amazon $2.5 billion to move there in tax credits and things like that. The argument one would make is, well, they're coming there and they're creating 25,000-ish new jobs. That number, sometimes it's way off. You know, sometimes they talk about the 25,000 new jobs and it turns out that's only during the construction phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it drops down to 32. But in this case, it seemed to be pretty clear. I mean, Amazon is certainly a growing company. And they're not going anywhere soon, and they're going to need, as they continue to expand, they've got 20? We're 25 years? I'm trying to think of how long we've been dealing with Amazon.
Yeah, it seems like at least 20. Late 90s, maybe to mid-90s.
Mid-90s, I think. They were one of the very, very first online stores back when they sold books.
Well, you know, you have to wonder, you know, when it comes to big corporations, they all have a certain top out size, right? There's only so large it seems like that they can get before they become particularly susceptible to competition, or they just become so inefficient because of their size.
Right.
So is Amazon nearing that point? Are they not even halfway there yet? Like, how much bigger can they get? We know they just acquired Whole Foods a couple of years ago.
Right. They bought Nest, which was another big deal.
No, I think Google bought that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Blink.
Yes, Blink.
That's what Amazon bought.
Right.
Which is kind of like another competitor to that. Obviously, they're humongous as far as internet delivery is concerned. So, I mean, they're all over the place there with warehouses in a bunch of different countries. I mean, obviously, they can expand that division. They're huge online with their file sharing services and their not file sharing, but also their hosting. Amazon hosting the government. There's a whole article at The Intercept recently about how Jeff Bezos is all upset about somebody sharing a picture of his junk on the internet, right. But yet he's investing in all this privacy invading technology, and he hosts the CIA and he hosts the Department of Homeland Security and all 17 agencies or whatever on Amazon Cloud Services or EC2 or whatever it's called.
Sure.
So I mean they are pretty darn big, and now they're also getting into that. There's that experimental store that they have that they're now expanding into a few different markets, apparently, where you can go in, you show your Amazon app on your phone to get in. There's like a turnstile or something, and it blocks you to get in until you show that you're an Amazon customer already. Then you can go in, pick up stuff, put it in a basket or put it in your pockets or whatever, and walk out.
Right. Very cool. All done with RFID,
right.
And yeah, it's super cool. Amazon's got a couple other things.
Well, there's talk about those going to like thousands of stores.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So that's another potential area of expansion is even more real life shopping.
Regarding their cloud services and their online computing, when Amazon first showed a profit, I can't remember, it was 2015, 2016, somewhere in there, they had one blip where Amazon showed a profit, but that was all in growth in the EC2 platform and their cloud computing. So they were an early pioneer there. The big news in the last few days has been Rivian, which is another electric vehicle company that is, a lot of people are saying, could really displace Tesla completely.
Really?
And Jeff Bezos.
Have you looked into this Rivian group, or are you just kind of aware that they exist?
I'm aware that they exist, but I'm seeing tons and tons of headlines, and they're going after the pickup and the SUV sort of thing. They're
because that's been exempted from the whole hybrid world, hasn't it? For the most part, like pickups and such. I mean, they exist, but
they do. But again, how practical can they be? Yeah. And Rivian is kind of taking a completely different look at it. What is interesting about it is Jeff Bezos sitting back with his big fat. They have a war chest that I think they said was. It can't be $250 billion. It may be $250 billion.
Who does? Amazon?
Amazon in cash, ready to invest.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge amount, and they're looking at Rivian as a potential next play for Amazon, so that could be huge. So I think they've got a lot of room to grow and a lot of things they can do.
What are some of the Amazon failures? Of course, they also have the home thing. What is it? Alexa? They've got that. That's huge. Those things are popping up everywhere. The little speakers, the smart speakers, those are huge. So they're getting their actual hardware devices inside people's homes. What are some of the Amazon failures? I mean, what are the big bombs that they've done? Because if you look at like a company like Apple, they've thrown a bunch of stuff up against a wall, and some of it just failed miserably. I mean, a lot of people probably forget the failures, but they're there. Coming to mind, just there was the Apple Newton, which was like a real early. You're laughing.
I am.
Right?
That thing was an embarrassment.
It failed miserably.
Right. You had Microsoft Zune. You know, that was another one. That was going to be the iPod killer.
And you can I can think of, Google failures, Google programs that have been shut down. Of course, they're shutting down Google Plus as we speak.
Yeah.
Which, major failure. They tried to compete with Facebook. So, like, I don't know, right off the bat, I can't think of what has Amazon really botched up. They must have done it. It's just I wasn't aware of it.
I'll throw you a few.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, there was something called the Fire Phone.
Okay.
So the Kindle Fire, they were going to put this all in a phone-size package and do it that way.
All right.
You can't find those for sale anymore. They did another one called Destinations. That one, and I'm going off a list here from thestreet.com. Destinations was sort of going to be a travel website.
Okay, so that one didn't go anywhere, huh?
That failed.
Gotcha.
Poorly. They wanted to do a local deal sort of thing like Living Social or Groupon.
Okay.
That one was called, let's see, Amazon Local. That one never panned out.
Didn't get off the ground?
Yeah, but they've had their share. You know?
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, it's
they
not
were all
like
so minor, I didn't even hear of them.
Right, but I had heard of some of those, and it just means that they're not afraid to invest. And another thing is people are all busting on, because Amazon, the other big Amazon story this week was they paid no federal income tax.
The customers pay all the taxes.
Right, but on their corporate profits, they didn't pay any income tax.
Sweet.
We'll talk about that when we get back. It's an interesting story, and I can pull that one up, too.
All right.
We're going to get back, and we're going to talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her humongous billboard in Times Square. And what are we going to do about that? Free Talk Live.
Detoxify, lose weight, and restore balance to your body by simply drinking tea. Surprised? Dr. Miller's Holy Tea can help you feel better and even lose weight, because Holy Tea is a unique herbal tea blend of all natural ingredients specially formulated by Dr. Bill Miller. Call this number, 888-660-7039, or click drmillersclinic.com. Take the first step toward better health. Drink tea from Dr. Miller's Clinic.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you AMP Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. And we're live tonight like we're live every night. You can reach us toll free at 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And before we go any further, I want to tell you about Bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com is your premier source for everything Bitcoin related. Bitcoin.com can help you choose a Bitcoin wallet, buy Bitcoin, and show you where you can spend your Bitcoin. You can also read news, engage with the community on the Bitcoin forum, and you can learn more at Bitcoin.com. I hit that occasionally. And they've got some really good tutorials. I don't know if you've ever been through any of their new user tutorials.
I went through the academy specifically.
Yeah,
the very beginning.
The email.
What a total new person would go through.
Right. I
don't recall anything about an email though. It was like just a page-by-page introduction to Bitcoin.
I don't know if they still do it, but there was also sort of if you sign up, we'll send you one email a day sort of thing, which was kind of cool.
The site's exhaustive. There's a lot of content there.
There certainly is. And we've been talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez taking a bunch of guff and what the people who paid for this wonderful billboard on Times Square, its title says, Amazon pullout, 25,000 lost New York City jobs, $4 billion in lost wages, $12 billion in lost economic activity for New York. Thanks for nothing, AOC, brought to you by Job Creators Network. And they give their website, and underneath they put hashtag socialism takes, capitalism creates.
This is an expensive, ad campaign.
Oh, yeah.
And it's basically just a messaging campaign. It's just basically them saying, hey, New York, you really screwed this one up. You just lost all these potential jobs. You lost all this economic activity.
Right.
And now you got nothing. Somebody else is going to get that. And we're willing to pay, this group is willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars, likely, for a one-week time frame to try to knock some sense into New Yorkers' heads. It seems futile to me.
It does to me, too.
I sure as hell wouldn't spend money in New York City on a messaging campaign like that. I mean, that's just like throwing money down a rat hole.
They also listen to everything coming out of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's mouth during the campaign and still elected her.
Yeah.
I mean, so what do you expect? But right now we are going to go to the phones. We've got Tom in New Hampshire wants to talk about Congressman Omar.
Congressman Omar. I don't know who that is.
Tom, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, Donald Trump called her Congressman Omar, too, by the way.
Oh, did I say Congressman?
Omar. Yeah, I called her up a couple days ago, called up her office to share some quotes that might help her when she's got to speak in her own defense about what's happened. She tweeted some stuff about how the reason all these politicians support the state of Israel, it's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Right.
She's a congresswoman from Minnesota. Okay. So I called her up and told her, here's a couple of quotes.
Is this the Muslim lady?
Yes.
Okay.
The Muslim woman, the first congresswoman ever to wear a hijab in the House of Representatives.
All right.
Here's a quote. Quote number one. Quote, being falsely accused of anti-Semitism and being a supporter of radical fascism is not an enviable position for any politician. Most realize it is best to be quiet and support our Middle East involvement, unquote. That's Congressman Ron Paul from the Congressional Record of September 7, 2006, page H6361. And the second one from Congressman Ron Paul, quote, at the very least, the U.S. Congress should not be loudly proclaiming its support for the Israeli government's actions in Gaza, unquote. That's January 9, 2009, page H98.
We'll trust you
And,
if you've sourced all these. Go ahead.
Well, it's you can look it up online too. You can pull up the congressional records for those. But then, see, you can call up congressional offices, and you can usually get through. Yesterday, the lines were.
Yeah, but you don't get through to the rep.
Did you talk to Congresswoman Omar?
In New Hampshire, you get through to state legislature, state representatives.
Right. But you were talking about a woman who is a U.S. representative, right? I just want to be clear.
Right.
You don't get to talk to those people.
Talk to the staff.
So it's basically useless.
And so today, and plus, you call them up and talk about something that's got nothing to do with that particular controversy.
What was the point of reading the quotes from Ron Paul? I must have missed that. What does that have to do with calling this woman's office in Minnesota?
I'm calling her office in Washington, D.C. about she's being accused of being anti-Semitic.
Oh, okay.
Because she won't blindly follow, support the state of Israel, and she says that the reason that other members support the state of Israel is because of the influence of the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, and it's all about the Benjamins baby. So today I called up to talk about something else. If you're getting one call after another about the same thing, here's something refreshing. I said the staffer that the Congresswoman needs to file legislation to repeal the National Minimum Drinking Age Act and the District of Columbia underage drinking laws.
That's a great idea.
On President's Day, Congresswoman Omar tweeted a quote from President Lincoln, quote, "Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves, and under a just God they cannot long retain it," unquote.
It's a good quote.
And I pointed
Too
out
bad he was such an a-hole.
Yeah, well,
and he didn't follow that.
Had a couple good quotes.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was able to point out that look who's denying freedom to others. Like Minnesota State Senate President James Metzen got busted for drunk driving on May 22nd, 2007.
Nice, the state Senate president.
The state Senate President James Metzen. Oh yeah,
it was his turn to drive. They take
were
turns,
all drunk.
Right? Flip a coin.
Congressman Kevin Brady of Texas. He was the chair of the House Ways and Means Committee.
Yeah, I think it's interesting what you're pointing out here, Tom, is that these people who would deign to be your betters, that want you to believe that they're somehow morally superior because they want to tell you how to live your life, that these people are also out there driving S-faced.
Right, and they do it. I mean, it's you can't go 3 days without hearing about a lawmaker breaking a law, and you know that they're going to get off. You know that they're not going to face the full extent of the law, but you know you will if you were to do the same thing.
And in a lot of cases, they're breaking the very laws that they themselves wanted to put into place. That the ones that are anti-gay get caught in the bathroom playing footsie with
anti-prostitution,
somebody next to them, that kind of thing. The guys that are anti-drug and anti-prostitution get busted, snorting crank off a hunting knife while with a prostitute in a hotel room. I mean, it's crazy.
It's pathetic. And Tom, thank you for the call.
I'm still not sure what Ron Paul was all about there. I don't
know, but I like to hear Ron Paul quotes. So,
sure, yeah.
Hey, what the heck?
I heard he had a really good new speech too that I missed out on.
Really?
At Anarchapulco.
You missed out on it?
I missed out on it.
Where were you?
I was outside the speaking area. I was in the hallway, just kind of talking to people or whatever.
So the one everybody's talking about, the one they say was the speech of the century.
Is that what they're saying about it?
Oh, I'm just telling
I have no
you.
idea.
I'm just messing with you. 855-450-FREE if you would like to take part in our conversation, and that is our toll-free number. And we've been talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the billboard, which is lambasting her in Times Square every day. It's kind of hard to miss, but as Ian said, you're preaching to the broken already. I mean, they've already elected her, and I will wager they're probably getting a lot of support. Meaning Ocasio-Cortez. Mm-hmm. I'll bet a lot of people are saying, you shouldn't pick on her, and
she's.
Jeff Bezos doesn't need our money.
Right, she's against those evil corporations.
Right. Those evil corporations pay people's paychecks. and they bring lots of money to town. But, oh well. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
What's in store for your business this week at Staples?
Lap top of the line.
Staples is the place for the best PCs.
At great prices.
And this week at Staples, in honor of President's Day, the HP Pavilion laptop with Intel Core i7 processor is just $599.
You save $230 on this super slim, stylish PC powerhouse.
Get all the tech tools your business needs to stay a step ahead at Staples,
where there's a whole lot in store.
Ends 2/23/19 while supplies last.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean, why is this so hard? At ADT, we DIFY, do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT, real protection.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, where we're live every night. We're talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and a big billboard that's kind of calling her out for some of her anti-business practices. And the we in studio right now is Chris.
And Ian.
And I want to tell you about ForkFest. ForkFest 2019. Can you believe it? 2019. When was the first ForkFest?
This will be number 3.
Number 3. Nice.
2 years ago.
Excellent. Did you miss ForkFest 2018? We'll start planning now to attend ForkFest 2019. Join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians next summer from June 13th until June 18th for ForkFest 2019 at Rogers Campgrounds in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. ForkFest is a fork of another camping party in the woods, and you're invited to come along and create whatever experience you'd like to have. ForkFest is decentralized, which means no one is in charge. So it's up to you to create what happens, or you can simply relax and go camping with other liberty lovers. For more information and connect to other ForkFesters via the unofficial Telegram chat in the ForkFest forum, or visit forkfest.party. Forkfest.party. That sounds like fun.
I'm going.
Are you going?
Yep.
I had a feeling you might. It would be really fun. If I didn't own a small business, I could do really fun things. In 4 years, I haven't really done a really fun thing. I'd like to one of these days.
Man, you can always close down for a week or something like that if you need to.
Could we?
Of course, then you'll have a bunch of T-shirt orders backed up. Or you could hire somebody to pack shirts for you and process the orders.
Oh, see, that's where I just get really cheap.
Yeah.
My only goal starting a small business was this. I do not want a single employee ever.
I heard you, man. So do a contractor then.
I should. Maybe we'll do that this summer. And I'd love to get to ForkFest. That would be absolutely incredible. As it always is. And I'd really like to. There's just a lot of friends. You know, there's a lot of people I see online, and I'm like, man, I should really go. But we've been talking about AOC and this billboard, and the billboard again reads, Amazon pull out, 25,000 lost New York City jobs, $4 billion in lost wages, $12 billion in lost economic activity for New York. Thanks for nothing, AOC. Brought to you by the Job Creators Network. And then down below, in addition to their website, it says hashtag socialism takes, capitalism creates.
Just look at Venezuela. If you need any proof that socialism takes, it has taken away any semblance of wealth that those people have.
It's taken lives.
It is absolutely taken lives of children as well, because you can't even get, not only is it hard to get basic food items in Venezuela, it's also hard apparently to get basic medical items. So you need some, antibiotics for your little kid that's got some sort of, malady.
Yeah.
They might die from it because you can't get the antibiotics.
I read a headline and I didn't follow the whole story. But evidently Venezuela is sending a caravan, their own caravan, to Colombia to receive some gifts, some donations for their people. So that's being organized in Venezuela to move down to Colombia. Folks, when you look to Colombia as your salvation, I mean, then you're in hard straits because Colombia isn't much better off.
Right.
So it's a rough time down there, and yes, it's due to socialism.
Yeah, there was a story that I have not yet pulled up, but I saw the headline for it. Apparently, Maduro is going to be closing down the border with Brazil.
Why not? Just isolate yourself further. That makes perfect sense.
Well, we can't let anybody out, That's the real concern. They're not worried about Brazilians coming into Venezuela. Nobody wants to go into Venezuela who's, sane at this point.
No. But we have to make at least New York City. We've got to make that more like Venezuela.
They're working on it.
We want it to be the gem of the socialist world, and that's what they're looking for. Quote, "No, it's not possible that I can come to any different conclusion. The debate must be over my intelligence and understanding instead of the merits of the deal," unquote. That is from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The freshman Democrat New York Congresswoman has faced days of criticism from normally friendly media voices and fellow Democrats over her role in Amazon's decision to pull back from building a $2.5 billion campus
So even other Democrats are telling her she's gone too far.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I know. That could have been the whole story in itself. In their decision to pull back from building a $2.5 billion campus in the Long Island City neighborhood of Queens. Another tweet from AOC. There was little in the fuzzy proposal that guaranteed jobs for actual New Yorkers, yet lots of hard concessions from the public. Queens.
The public. Okay, so you always have to remember that these are political code words.
Yes.
So when she says the public, and this isn't just a critique of Ocasio-Cortez. This is a critique of anyone in government. So Republican, Democrat, whatever. Whenever they talk about the public, they don't mean you. Read the statement one more time that she said, if you don't mind.
There was little in the fuzzy proposal that guarantees jobs for the actual New Yorkers, yet lots of hard concessions from the public.
So she actually used two terms in there, New Yorkers. So she's talking about actual New Yorkers.
Right.
And then the public. So those are two separate concepts. Okay, the New Yorkers are the people who are the victims here. They're the ones who don't get the jobs.
Right.
They're the ones who have this woman supposedly representing them in what is called the public. The public is code for government.
Yes.
So whenever you see public spoken by a so-called government servant or whatever, these so-called public servants, the reality is they're serving the government. They're not your servant.
Right.
They're there serving the state. They're serving themselves on the behest of the state, serving to protect the state apparatus itself, this mega corporation.
Yes.
That they're not going to talk about that corporation and how it's humongous. And the only corporation in the case of New York State, plus the federal government, but the corporations that actually get to use violent force. Because I don't have to shop with Amazon. I can still walk down the street and I can go or get on my bike or get in a car and go shopping in a variety of other places, from mom and pops to big brick stores. I don't have to use Amazon, and Amazon cannot point a gun at my face and force me to use their services. But the government absolutely can, and it would be willing to hurt you over it.
When Amazon talks about drones, they're talking about delivering things to you.
That you ordered.
They're not talking about bombing you and killing you.
Well, that's true. However, Amazon, again, not perfect. They're not as evil as the government, but certainly when they team up with the government, they become as evil as the government.
And this is true because
they could absolutely turn their drone network into a observation network for the government. If they had some sort of contract with the CIA or whatever, it could certainly be used for that case.
That takes vigilance, and if necessary, 12-gauge shotgun shells to counter said proposed Amazon threat.
Sure.
Which could certainly occur. Let's see what else AOC has to say.
But I think it's important to keep that in mind. If she or anybody else is saying the public gave concessions,
right,
she means the government gave them tax breaks or tax concessions or whatever. The people didn't do that.
No.
The New Yorkers themselves, who are not in government, the ones who believe they're being represented by these people, you didn't have a voice at the table. You didn't have any kind of input into this. Your vote was not input into this, because when you voted for Ocasio-Cortez or against her or whatever, this wasn't, the issue at the time.
Of course not.
You didn't know exactly what her position would be on this, and a lot of the time when you're voting for somebody, it's not because of one thing or another, it's simply because you don't think they're the worst candidate.
Oh, she pretty much ran on this. I mean, she has run on being anti-business, anti-big business, because they are all evil,
but
whether
that doesn't
it's Google,
mean that,
Amazon, any of them.
But still, even if that's true, it doesn't mean that that's the reason she was voted for. Some people may have voted for her for that reason, but others may have voted for her because she's attractive physically. Others may have voted for her because she is in favor of criminal justice reform.
Sure.
So, she's not wrong on every issue.
Right.
And for somebody who wants to see criminal justice reform and they don't really care so much what happens to business, that's the reason they voted. So you never know the reason why somebody casts a vote for you unless they tell you.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
One more tweet from her. Folks handling the failed deal treated community with condescension, and disdain for their legitimate concerns. I warned early to any and all surging New York costs.
Look, if the community's concerned, they shouldn't get the jobs. Just don't go get those jobs. Go work at McDonald's or something.
It's always an alternative. We'll be back 8:55 450 free.
Hello. I am looking for a special soul from the GCN audience to hire to come to East Ridge, Tennessee and take care of two peaceful, easygoing people, which are a sweet 95-year-old woman and her 60-year-old son. Terms would be free room and board, plus the use of all of our facilities here at home, in exchange for living with us and seeing to our needs. We must have someone that fits in well. We get along with most anybody and value those who like to do the same. We live in a suburb of the scenic city of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Please email Matt at peaceaboveall.net for additional information. Please include your informal resume stating your strengths and weaknesses and reasons you would make a dedicated caregiver. We would also offer to negotiate a nominal salary in addition to everything else. Again, please email matt@peaceaboveall.net. Thanks for responding.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with the Liberty Beat for Thursday, February 21st, 2019. Gold opened today at $1,336. Silver opened at $15.93. And Bitcoin is trading around $3,895. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, Bloomberg is reporting the Walt Disney Company, Nestle, and Fortnite creator Epic Games Inc. have paused their advertising spending on YouTube after a viral video report detailing an alleged softcore pedophilia ring operating via the platform's comments section. An alarming 20-minute report posted by video blogger Matt Watson on his YouTube channel Sunday purports to expose a wormhole into a softcore pedophilia ring on YouTube.
I have discovered a wormhole, as I would call it, into a softcore pedophile ring on YouTube. Pedophiles are trading social media contacts. They're providing links to actual child porn in YouTube comments. They're trading unlisted videos in secret. And YouTube's algorithm, through some kind of glitch or error in its programming, is actually facilitating their ability to do this.
In response to the deeply troubling report, YouTube says they took immediate action by deleting accounts and channels, reporting illegal activity to authorities, and disabling comments. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices, with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the Liberty Beat for Thursday, February 21st, 2019. Venezuela's armed forces have responded angrily to threats made against them by U.S. President Donald Trump and calls to break the chain of command. That's according to a report from Minpress News. Speaking at a press conference held in Caracas and flanked by commanders from all of the branches of the military, Defense Minister Vladimir Pedrino Lopez told the press that Washington, quote, will not be able to install a puppet in anti-patriotic government. They will have to step over our dead bodies first, end quote. Trump had warned Venezuelan soldiers that they risked losing everything should they continue loyal to Maduro at a press conference in Miami Monday. He once more urged them to recognize National Assembly President Juan Guaido as interim president, and yet again refused to rule out direct military action against Venezuela, stressing that all options are on the table. The U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday ruled unanimously that the excessive fines clause in the Eighth Amendment applies to state and local governments. Announced in an opinion written by Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on her second day back on the bench following a December cancer surgery, the ruling limits states' abilities to seize property and impose fines deemed excessive on citizens who break the law. The Mind Unleashed reports that other justices were highly critical of property seizures and fines, with Justice Clarence Thomas suggesting that civil forfeitures had become widespread and highly profitable. Despite their intentions of sweeping the deaths of Dennis and Regina Tuttle under the rug, the Houston Police Department is currently under the microscope of the nation. And the Free Thought Project reports that the FBI is stepping in, as well as Houston area prosecutors, who will examine 1,400 other cases which are linked to the cop who fabricated evidence to spark the raid that led to the couple's death. Support for Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow reporting for this Thursday, February 21st, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Now, how much money will all those closeted Republican convention goers bring into the city, Marie?
A lot. The average area prostitute normally makes around $200 to $300 a week jerking off truck drivers behind the bus station.
I see.
Next week, they are expecting to make 30 times that amount sucking off secretly gay Republicans.
Wow.
You figure the fact that these delegates are so repressed and filled with self-hatred,
yes,
they tend to like the filthiest, kinkiest sex acts imaginable.
Oh, that's
which
right.
tends to cost more. The average well-adjusted gay man has no desire to smear fecal matter all over his partner's face or be beat up by him. But that is exactly the sort of thing that these repressed conservatives are willing to pay top dollar for.
Okay, as well as the services of transsexuals, I understand.
Yes. A lot of the Republicans repeatedly call the prostitutes faggots or start crying after they've had sex with them.
I suppose the prostitutes are shoring up on their politics so they can talk to the Republicans.
Ha ha, Andrea, what do you think this is, Pretty Woman? They're just there to get right.
Thank you, Marie Byron.
RNC's always a good time.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. And we are entering hour number 2 of our 3-hour-long broadcast, which you can catch on the radio or on the internet. What are we on? We're on up close to 200 stations now.
Yeah, getting there. Slowly.
Slowly. It's been a long slog.
You gain some, you lose a few.
You do.
Just how it is.
So number...
If we'd kept our affiliate list the way most radio shows do, which is where they just add stations and they never remove them.
So we'd be up to like 36,000. Oh, yeah.
We'd be at 400.
400?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But our honest count has it somewhere between 190 and 200 or something like that.
It's 194 or somewhere around there right now.
Yeah, Ian gets to keep track of all that stuff.
I do.
So fun for him. But it is kind of cool to do, and I just like to see when it pops up. I also like to watch where the show is on Talkers Magazine's Heavy 100. That's always a big thing for me because I wasn't even in talk radio, but I knew about
the Heavy 100?
Heavy 100,
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because other talk radio shows would brag about their position on it.
I see.
And it's nice to see us up on, we're on page 2, and that's pretty good. So in the top 50,
top 20, top 30. We're number 27 last count.
27. That is great. And they basically rate those for the most important in their mind talk radio shows. And
it's kind of a nebulous.
It is,
set of criteria.
But
it's just the editors sitting around, cobbling together a list, basically.
What do you think? Who do you like? What I like about it is, what I really like is, if you look at the entire list, you are not going to find a lot of liberty-oriented programming.
No, I don't like that at all. I wish there were more shows like ours, but
I do too.
Unfortunately, we're all there is for syndicated libertarian talk radio. Like, as far as real libertarians are concerned. I mean, there are other hosts out there who like to bandy about the terms, such as, say, Glenn Beck or Larry Elder.
Oh, great libertarians.
No,
they're not. But they do like to. They like to talk about their libertarian position on a particular topic, and that's not what libertarian is. Libertarianism is basically it's more of a philosophy, and it is adopting it to your total life, and that means you respect people.
Yeah, it's the non-aggression principle. I mean, this is a preschool level kind of concept that we're talking about here. This is not complicated, but yet people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and these Republicans and these people in Washington, D.C., they just don't understand it. Or maybe they never understood it. Maybe they never liked it. Maybe when they were in school, they liked bullying people.
Maybe.
Or maybe they got bullied and then they wanted to turn it around on other people and get them back. Go after all their neighbors instead of just the ones that did them wrong, that kind of thing.
Some people associate success with control. I'm in charge, therefore I must be successful.
Well, let's get into your next story about people who want to control others, specifically what businesses can be called.
Exactly.
Which rings close to our hearts here in Keene, New Hampshire, having just become victorious. I mean, we, meaning, I'm going to say we because I think to some extent all of us were involved together in this.
We had a hand.
In the Pho Keene Great story that is about a pho noodle soup company that has yet to actually open its doors here in Keene, New Hampshire, but went viral on the internet and in mainstream media just, about 2 months ago, I guess, just under 2 months ago. It was right around the turn of the year. And the owner of that restaurant, or the owners of that restaurant, were vindicated, and the city government that was threatening them over their supposedly offensive name, they backed down. And looks like they're on track to open up. They got their sign hanging out now, very proudly.
Looks good. We drove by it tonight just to take a look. We hadn't seen it yet.
And even Penn Jillette has now jumped on board with Pho Keene Great, which is, again, the restaurant's name.
That was so sweet.
And he got a T-shirt from you guys over at Route 101 Local Goods here in Keene. Now, he didn't physically come in to buy the shirt.
No, I wish.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah, because he's from this area.
He's from Greenfield, Massachusetts, which is an hour, less than an hour southwest of here. Basically, it's very, very close, straight shot down Interstate 91. And so I guess he sent somebody in, or somebody came in who was going to ship it to Penn. Is that what happened?
It's a kid that works for Penn and Teller in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
He's from out here, and he called his dad up and said, "Oh, these guys were rolling at the store, and they were wondering if you could swing by and pick up a couple of shirts to ship to us." So we were a little skeptical, too.
So a couple shirts. So maybe his wife got one, too.
There were a total, the order was for 3.
3 of them.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So those got shipped out, and I was really happy to see that tweet. I love that stuff. But I'll tell you, another business person who has not been real happy lately was a lady I talked to this morning. Her name is Dawn Moon.
Okay.
Probably not a household name yet, but she may be too, because evidently the city of Sandusky, Ohio, has a problem with her business name. This sounds real close. Dawn Moon has spent the last decade dreaming of opening her own salon after getting licensed as a nail technician. But just as her dream is starting to come true, Moon's storefront in Sandusky, Ohio is causing some controversy because of its suggestive name, Hand Jobs, Nails, and Spa. Quote, "This is an idea I've had for 10 years, Moon tells Yahoo Lifestyle."
So this is open, just to be clear? This business is... Sorry, I might have missed that.
Yeah, I don't know. she is trying to open up. She's trying to get her sign
Because I saw a picture
up.
in the article, and it looked like there was a sign up.
There is a sign, but I think she's still trying to get everything kind of. That was the impression I got talking to her today. Moon's storefront in Sandusky, Ohio, is causing some controversy because of its suggestive name, Hand Jobs, Nails, and Spa. This is an idea I've had for 10 years, Moon tells Yahoo Lifestyle of the name of her salon. Quote, it's a play on words, but really, it's exactly what we do as nail techs.
Hands. Right, yeah.
Hands.
You can't order a nail job with a happy ending there, can you?
I don't think so. But although Moon believes that the name of the salon is rather logical, others have mixed opinions, some of which they've shared on social media. Quote, what the hell are people thinking, unquote, one person wrote, while another said, take it down, I cannot believe Perkins allowed you to use that name. Offensive! Exclamation
Wait, who
point.
is Perkins? Is that the name of the town?
It may be, or it may be somebody involved in it. Maybe a landlord, or maybe Perkins is in the same, I don't know. All of the attention, however, it's simply being viewed as free publicity for the owner and the many people who support her. Quote, the talk about the sign started almost immediately. Within 24 hours, we had massive social media attention, unquote, she says. Honestly, we've had way more positive feedback and a ton of support and very few who don't like it, unquote.
It is Perkins Township.
There you go.
Yeah, so the town of Perkins.
Yep. The reaction from those who are fans of the idea include a number of other local businesses who have openly shared their support for Moon in response to a Facebook post asking if people are offended.
That's nice to hear. I'm glad to hear that other business owners have actually come out in favor of this person, because in a lot of cases, business owners, they didn't get into business to fight the government. They didn't get into whatever it is they're doing because they wanted to go up against the man.
Right.
They wanted to do whatever it was their calling was for business. Maybe it's doing, somebody's nails, or maybe it's cleaning pools or taking out the garbage, or whatever it is that excites them, whatever it is that they think they can make money at. That's why they got into business. Most of them, they just want to go along to get along. They want to pay whatever taxes and fees, and they don't want the government, they don't want to stir up the beast that is the government to have them target them. And so the fact that there are actually business owners in this town that are willing to come out on the record in favor of this woman's business, that's pretty impressive. I'm glad to hear that.
And we saw it here in Keene, New Hampshire with Fa, Keene, Great.
That's right.
It was the exact same way, and
that's true.
We're the only place where you could buy the official gear. But I can tell you, day one, I had 5-6 small business owners that came in saying, "Hey, I own this business. I support exactly what she's doing, and they need to get out of the way and let people hire people and make money." What do you think? You can call us up at 855-450-FREE and let us know. Free Talk Live.
You want to know the 37 items you must have to survive a crisis? Then I've got some good news for you. Former CIA officer and New York Times best-selling author Jason Hansen is now giving listeners a free copy of his book, The Escape Bag Blueprint, 37 Items You Must Have to Survive a Crisis. You can claim your copy at freeescapebook.com. Don't delay. Jason reveals the guns, knives, flashlights, and water filters that could save your life in an economic collapse or grid-down event. Get your free book today, freeescapebook.com. freeescapebook.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. SmartCash is building a foundation that can support daily transactions for people everywhere. One feature that sets SmartCash apart is the Smart Hive governance model and how the community can vote to fund the best projects with block rewards stored in the Smart Hive project treasury. Unlike other cryptocurrencies with voting systems, SmartCash allows everyone to participate. One smart equals one vote. Learn more at smartcash.cc.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Hey, there goes some packets.
It happens from time to time.
Yeah.
Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. is our toll-free number, and that's how you can interact with us. The us in studio today is myself, Chris.
And Ian.
And that's not the only way. You can go to discord.lrn.fm and load the Discord app. Discord is a superb way to interact with the show, interact with other people who are listening, and we've got a bunch of different, chat channels over there. So you can do text chat, you can do voice chat, or you can go into one of our live call-in rooms and you can hit us up and we can put you on the air. It's a whole lot of fun. That's discord.lrn.fm. And we've been talking about this potential business that's trying to get past some sign ordinances in Sandusky, Ohio.
Hand jobs
is the name of the business.
That's the name of the business. It's a nail salon.
It is, and I'm looking at...
Wait, you get your mind out of the gutter, dear listener. What were you thinking?
What were you thinking of? Nails, it's hand jobs, nails, and spa.
Yeah, clearly.
They work with hands. It's their job to work on women's hands.
They do a job,
They do a job.
Yeah.
And well, I talked to the lady today, and she's very nice. The owner's name is Dawn.
Okay.
Sweet girl. She just wants to get this place opened up. But you have local politicians that are saying, well, we're not sure about your sign, and we need...
Not sure. It's already up.
It is already up, but...
So wait, they approved it previously? Or did they put up a sign without permission?
I think they put it up without permission.
Awesome.
Which
now
is good
I'm in
for
love.
them. Right. But city business, that's what they do. They're going to come back and say, you have to pay us X amount of dollars for a sign application. Even then, we may not let you do it. as we talked about previously. They're getting a lot of support from small businesses, which is really good to hear. And we saw the same thing here with Pho Keen. Great.
It's actually referenced
store.
in this Fox News story. I'm just kind of looking at one of the stories about this, and Fox, at the very end of the story about the nail salon, actually references Pho Keen. Great, and links to that story. It says, this isn't the first time a shop has faced backlash over having a cheeky name. In January, Pho Keen, Great restaurant in New Hampshire, was called offensive and accused of violating terms of its lease with the city.
Yes. And as I talked to Dawn Moon today, the owner of Handjobs Nails and Spa, she was very familiar with the Pho Keen Great story.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so she was, and I explained sort of our role in all that, and so it was just a really nice conversation. In the meantime, Moon is fulfilling requests for merchandise after a few people have suggested she make shirts with the salon's name on them. We're in the process of making a design now, she says. So maybe she may benefit from the same sort of thing that the Pho restaurant did.
Mm-hmm.
If government is coming down on you, and she realizes, and in talking to her, she's going to incur legal fees. She's going to incur filing fees.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be sign permit costs. And the worst thing possible is that this delays her plans. And she has employees that she's, probably bringing on board, and people aren't going to sit around and not take paychecks for a long time while you're trying to get in business. They will find another place to work, and that's kind of where it's at. But right now, we're going to go to the phones. We've got Sarah calling in from New Mexico. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live.
Sarah, aren't you outraged about what's happening to this poor nail salon owner?
She's just trying to open a small business.
I am more outraged about the sheriff from our 6 counties refusing to follow our new state law.
What's the new law he's refusing to follow?
First of all, what's the new law?
The gun control law. We passed 3 gun control laws, taking guns away from domestic violence, and these sheriffs are refusing to enforce it. And,
okay. Good for them.
And another thing is what they're saying is that buying guns, you have to pass stricter restrictions to buy guns.
Yep. Hold on.
Wait, what?
Hold
on. Who's saying that? You said they're saying that. Who's saying that?
Okay, the new state law is supposed to, so that when you purchase a gun, you have to prove all things.
All things? Prove all things. This is
prove all of the things.
The guns belong to the family, and then they just give it to a cousin. I'm not going to go. The sheriffs are saying I'm not going to go there and check them out.
I don't think anybody's asking you to, are they? You play no role in this whole process, correct, Sarah?
She voted.
You play no role in this whatsoever. This is between two people that want to. No, seriously, they want to sell a gun. Say it's a cousin to, some other cousin. They want to sell a gun from one person to another. That doesn't involve you at all, correct?
Well, it does. It does involve me because I care. Because these, the so-called law, our governor signed it. It passed through the House. It passed through the Senate. That's the legal procedure. Now it becomes the state law.
See, that shows that she cares.
There is.
Because that's what you do when you care, is you threaten your neighbors.
There is another law that comes into play, Sarah. And don't forget this one. This is a little civics lesson. But do you know what the most powerful law, the one law that supersedes all other laws in the United States is? There's one law.
What?
The U.S. Constitution. It is through supremacy. If in doubt on any law, whether it is constitutional or not, you have to look at the Constitution. And in the case of the Second Amendment, which protects people's guns rights, it says shall not be infringed. So that's the battle you're up against, Sarah. I also question whether these things are going to do anything. The first thing you described was, let me see, what was the first law you talked about that was passed?
Domestic
violence, right. So this is called a red flag law. If anything has occurred, if anybody reports you for any reason we think that guy is dangerous, and I know he's got a gun, so I'm going to call the cops. With very, very little proof in almost every time these laws have been enacted, a jealous or a spiteful ex can just call up the cops and get a SWAT team sent to your house to seize your guns, even if you are not a threat, even if you've never said anything threatening. A very, very low burden of proof. And where this really comes into play was, I'm going to tell you two cases. One is when a man was shot in Washington State because somebody used this, basically a red flag law against him. The cops busted down the doors and shot him. He had never done anything. He had no record whatsoever.
No, you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Is that how it goes?
That's how you
Ian?
see. She cares about people, Chris. What do you know? You don't care about people.
What's going to be really interesting is when the first police officer doing his job gets shot going to serve one of these warrants, and I'm not sure that hasn't happened already. We're going to research that, and I think it may have happened already. But, Sarah, thank you so much for the call. And we'll be back. We've got some other things to talk about at Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
We pledge allegiance to one flag, and that flag is the American flag.
Did you know the official national American flag has never been manufactured for retail stores? The one that Americans fought and died for. The one symbol that represents our Constitution. Now you can be a part of this great movement that's never been seen before. Together, we'll recapture America. Call 1-877-383-4777 or visit theofficialflag.com. Theofficialflag.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-3733. 855-450-FREE is our toll-free number. If you'd like to take part in the conversation, and we've been, like every show, we're always around the board a few times. It's one topic. We talked about AOC and
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Thank you. You just like saying it as much as I do. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Well, you got to be careful using, acronyms because maybe somebody doesn't know that. I didn't know when people were first throwing around AOC. I mean, I don't pay attention to politics that close, so I didn't know what they were talking about.
Ian, everyone knows who AOC is.
I don't think so.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And I'm glad about that. I'm glad more people are not following her, are not listening to her. So if you're one of those people who is not following Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you're making my job easier because I don't have to explain to you why capitalism is a better system than communism, or in her words, social democracy. So that's she drives me nuts. But she's always good for a story. We also talked about a business that's trying to start up in Sandusky, Ohio, trying to start a nail salon. And their name is getting some guff from local bureaucrats who were saying that the name Handjobs, Nails, and Spa is offensive.
Now, I'm curious. I don't know what I forget where you said your story was from, but do they have quotes from these bureaucrats? Are the bureaucrats themselves?
Not. This was from a Yahoo lifestyle story, and we were trying to find some other. I did find
some kind of local source for this from Ohio,
and there is a very short.
Where was it?
Story.
Peabody, something like that. I forget.
Perkins.
That's what it was. I didn't have it in front of me.
Yeah,
my computer's been going insane. So
it's like Perkins Township, and I'm sure they've got a zoning board or whoever is in charge of enforcing their sign ordinance. And they're kind of throwing a fit about this. Unfortunately, as we discussed in the last segment, small businesses seem to be behind it. People on social media seem to be behind them, and it's good.
I don't think a lot of people really want to see their neighbor's business crushed by the state. I don't think they want to see that. I don't think they would. Well, they're competition in a lot of cases.
And there are busybodies.
Yeah, and busybodies. Absolutely. So those people are out there, but it seems like the majority of people are very, very sane on issues like this. They may still acknowledge, we still need the government to do some kind of regulations because that's what we need government for, because government can tell us what to do, and it should, but it shouldn't tell this person to do this.
Right.
So they can see how ridiculous the government is being in these occasions, whether it be the Keen great story or this particular story about Handjobs Nail Salon. It's clear that this is a violation of the free speech, the creativity, the expression of this business owner, and it's clear to people about that. The numbers in the Keen great story were strongly overwhelming in favor of the restaurant and not in favor of the city government.
Yeah, Facebook polls in the thousands in support of, and in the tens for those who found it offensive. And people they're kind of used to this sort of thing. I mean, I don't want to talk about too much about the desensitizing of this generation, but people watch The Simpsons. People watch TV that has much worse things and much more potentially offensive things implied. This is coming to us from a 13abc.com, which is a local station, I guess, out in Ohio. Nail Salon to appeal zoning board decision on controversial name. Perkins Township, Ohio, from WTVG. The Perkins County Zoning Board has said it will not approve a local nail salon's sign bearing the controversial name of the company in a post to the salon's Facebook.
But it appears to be up, by the way. The sign, I mean, there's video, there's still photos that this woman appears to have gone ahead and put the sign up anyway, which I think is awesome. I wish more business owners would not ask for permission to do it. The basic things that they need to do to promote themselves on their own property, mind you. I did find a quote here, Chris, from Cleveland 19. This is Megan Sherland. She's the Perkins Township zoning director.
Oh, good.
And she says the sign outside the business, we'll get to the actual quote here in a moment, this could be a problem. She says the township has received some complaints about the name, and now she's going to review it. Quote, I have to take into consideration the entire feel and community of Perkins Township.
Well, thank God she's there. I mean, otherwise, how would the people of Perkins Township have any idea what their community feels like if it weren't for Megan to tell them what it feels like?
And what does that mean exactly, to take into consideration the entire feel and community? How will you know what the entire feel and community of Perkins Township thinks or believes at any given moment? And
Ian, if you need to ask, then it's best left in the hands of
a professional.
People like Megan Sherland.
She's got a degree.
Oh, I bet she does. I bet she does.
Because, look, there have been plenty of times when these bureaucrats, and I'm not just talking about Perkins Township, but just generally, these town zoning bureaucrats, city council people, town selectmen, or whatever it is they call them wherever you live, these people, they love to use terminology like this, but when it comes down to it, they do whatever's convenient for them and whatever's politically convenient for their buddies. I mean, the Bearcat situation here in Keene, of course, is a perfect example of this, where overwhelmingly 90+%, no joke, 90+%, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, 90+% of the people of Keene, New Hampshire were against the proposed Bearcat, which is a militarized police armored personnel carrier, basically.
Yeah.
With gun ports and the amount for a 50 cal and a deadly
launchers.
Gas injection wand that it can stick through a front door and all kinds of terrible, terrifying things. The people said no, and they said no loudly via petition. They said no by packing the city hall, by calling their so-called city councilors. The city councilors who were interviewed about this were the ones who said that upwards of 90% of the contacts they received were against the Bearcat. But what'd they do? They voted for it.
Of course.
13-3 or whatever it was. 13-2 or something like that. I think it was 13-2. Maybe
crazy.
12-3.
Well, this story has a little bit from Megan.
So I don't buy it. I don't buy that Ms. Sherland is doing anything for anybody besides herself and whoever it is that she's friends with.
Yeah, in this article, Dawn says, quote, you don't want something that people can't remember or that you can't pronounce or say, unquote, says Moon.
Perkins Nail Salon. Could just be really boring.
Exactly. That's exciting. Mm-hmm. People will think breakfast food while I get my nails done. Great. So she decided quite literally to go back to the basics. Quote, if you go in and get your nose done, it's called a nose job,
That's
right?
True.
Well, you come in and get your hands done, it's a hand job. It made perfect business sense to Moon. The name would be Hand Jobs Salon. And she goes on to discuss, but not everyone in Perkins Township in Sandusky is excited and supportive of the name.
There's some prudes out there. Let's hear from them.
There have been complaints to the local zoning board.
Mm-hmm. I bet none of the complaining parties are willing to go and talk about it to the media.
Probably not.
Because they're not in these stories.
No, they're not.
It's just someone saying that happened.
But Megan Sherland, she appears again.
Yep.
Perkins Township zoning director, and says that there have been some complaints. Quote, signs should not be text or graphics. Huh? Signs should not be text or graphics not be indecent or obscene in nature. This is a quote from Sherlin.
Signs should not be text or graphics?
That's exactly what it says. Quote, we have no stance on other than we have to take into consideration the entire feel and community of Perkins Township.
Right, yeah, I read that.
She does not spell well either.
What?
We'll talk more about this and get some of your calls.
How can a sign be anything but text or graphics? More coming up here. It is Free Talk Live in moments. What?
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
North, an extremely vocal opponent of gay marriage, drew fire during his 2010 re-election campaign for saying that the legalization of gay marriage would lead to man-horse marriages. In one instance, he told the New Haven Register, quote, "It's a slippery slope. If we allow two men to marry, what's next? Men marrying horses?" But yesterday, North found himself at the center of a media firestorm when the New York Times published photos of North on what appears to be romantic outings with a horse. Gathered during the Times' 2-month investigation, the pictures show North in almost a dozen locations with the same 3-year-old mare. A former aide discovered links to numerous horse-related sites, including phillyfreaks.com and hothindquarters.com on North's work computer. The Times is accusing North of using federal funds to pay for luxurious trips, including a 3-night stay at the high-end Sueños stables in Catalonia, Spain last month. North released a statement yesterday claiming he only spent time with the horse twice while conducting research for his anti-gay marriage project.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Free speech is protected on the internet, right? Not always. Government agencies try to limit free speech and commerce on the net. Luckily, when they do, the Institute for Justice is there to defend your First Amendment right to free speech. IJ helped set the first federal precedent for internet free speech in 1999, and ever since has worked to prevent unconstitutional roadblocks in cyberspace. Visit our website today at ij.org.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE is our toll-free number if you'd like to call up and join in the conversation. That's 855-450-3733, or you can hit us up on Discord at discord.lrn.fm. Be sure to load up the Discord app first, which you can find at discord.com, I'm pretty sure.
No, I believe it's discordapp.com.
discordapp.com.
You're always better off going through the Play Store and or the Apple Store to find these things.
Yep, if you're on a mobile device, otherwise if you're on a PC, because there is a Discord app for pretty much every platform.
That's true. Or Googling, because a lot of times you want to be careful on the internet that you're not on the wrong website.
Like I remember, if you're Googling hand jobs, Sandusky, Ohio, which we've been discussing. For example,
was it Sandusky? I thought it was Perkins.
Perkins Township
near
is
there?
In Sandusky.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a good point. But discord.lrn.fm, and I don't know if you knew it, but hey, you can actually watch us too.
That's true.
So
on our Twitch.
We've got cameras in here, and we've always had a YouTube feed that's always been going on. But now,
well, since you've been here, it wasn't always YouTube. Back in the day, we had a Stickam feed, we had a Ustream feed, we had a live stream feed. So we've kind of been through
every feed possible.
Yeah.
My favorite was when you had the court reporter in here who would sketch the goings on, and then
that
just
was a long
show
time ago.
Exactly. But Twitch is a lot of fun too, because there are chat rooms there. You can talk with other fans, and you can find that at twitch.lrn.fm.
I'm actually sorry I haven't been able to monitor the Twitch chat room tonight because my laptop is insane.
It is,
and I just can't even put that screen up.
And I've been trying to run a show here.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it is. But hey, you do it, so maybe.
Well, I've got a decade and a half's practice at it, so it takes a little bit of effort. But it sounded like you guys were having fun during Anarchapulco on the Wednesday shows.
We did. Yeah. We did.
Sound like you had some good rapport with Vincent and Jay and Will.
Yeah, everybody's great to do shows with. We were not having as much fun as you were in Acapulco.
It was a lot of work, honestly.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
And those things always are. I mean, even if it's the smaller events that we go to here in New Hampshire, cryptocurrency related usually.
Or Forkfest, Forkfest.party.
Forkfest.party, that's coming up.
The
Check
new
it out.
sponsor of Porkfest, by the way. I don't know if that's been made public yet, but...
What's that?
Forkfest.
Forkfest
is now sponsoring Porkfest.
That's too funny.
The VIP tent brought to you by Forkfest.party.
I love it. There's a bit of an inside joke there, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But hey, maybe David from New Hampshire would like to talk about that. David, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Porkfest.party. It's going to be a party.
Nice.
Are you going to go this year, Dave Ridley from RidleyReport.com?
Oh, I don't know yet. That's what, in June?
Yeah, June 13th through the 18th is the Forkfest dates, and then the Porcupine Freedom Festival follows it from the 18th through the something. I think it's like another 5 days, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we hope to see you.
Well,
it'd be great. It'd be great to have you up there.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Because
you're one of the originals, by the way. I'm sorry to interrupt. You're one of the original Porkfesters, right? Didn't you go to Porkfest 0?
No, I went to one of the ones, I went to one in 2005. That would have been the second one.
Yeah.
That's pretty early, though. Nice. So what's on your mind, Dave?
Well, I have this saying that things tend to happen in twos. And last night I was talking to you guys about, or either the previous host, about this guy who's refusing to use the police to solve a burglary that he's suffered. He's using social media.
I love this story. This is the gentleman it's about a snowmobile, right?
Right, some guy with a truck.
That's not what I'm calling to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah. Some guy with a truck
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that someone else is now doing the same thing, sort of. I mean, a similar thing on a different subject, just coincidentally in Londonderry, New Hampshire.
Okay. What was stolen there?
This is not exactly the same thing. It's aimed at a different kind of crime.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like a reaction to school shootings without using the police. So the idea is, or without necessarily using the police. So the idea, and they're calling it active shooter training at this place called Londonderry Fish and Game. And the idea is to train people how to respond as just average civilians to something like this, because the theory is that, well, But the reality is that when one of these things happens, there's usually not a cop around. The people who just happen to be there are the first responders for the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Or they should be. I mean, they should be able to respond, but they're not trained, many of them, and they might be afraid. And so this is trying to help them get over those concerns. They've been trained to call the police and then cower and wait. And then, of course, we find out that the police in a lot of cases show up and then cower and wait.
Yeah,
we've seen
they did down in Florida.
That's just the most recent, the Parkland shooting. That's the most recent example of it. But it goes all the way back to Columbine.
Oh, certainly.
All the way back. I mean, I remember.
That was the mantra back then was
officer safety.
Officer safety, and you contain the shooter.
Yep.
You keep them in one location until you have overwhelming force, then you go in. And what they learned in Columbine is while you were containing the shooter had no problem going throughout that high school and shooting people. So the modern, and I know this a little bit from time spent as like an emergency management director, when police respond now, when anyone responds, they are trained to go in immediately. You don't
Really?
contain the situation. You go straight in.
Well, they didn't do that in Parkland.
No, they did not. And that was one of the issues that they had with that. As the phrase goes, when seconds count, the police are only minutes away.
Yeah.
But they did not follow their own advice. So I'm happy to see this sort of thing happening. People, you are capable of defending other human lives. You have that in you. Whether you wish to do so, whether you wish to put yourself at risk, at mortal risk, that's up to each person to decide. But I think these are skills that more people should have, not just the police, so people are not afraid to call their neighbors.
So, Dave, you're saying that there's actually a training class for folks on this?
Yeah, and it's at a gun. It's a gun range where they're having the training, and part of the training is gun training. So this is not one of these snowflake response type things.
Right.
This is the kind of thing that I think you could approve of.
Well, I approve of it. I think it's a great idea. Absolutely.
Decentralize all the things, in this case, emergency response.
Yeah.
And allowing people, and I think Cell 411 is a good tie-in with this. And longtime sponsor of the show, they had to pull out due to, I think, some budgetary issues because, well, there's no revenue model for Cell 411.
Something that's free.
Yeah, get cell411.com. The app's still great. It still works very, very well. It's a decentralized emergency response app, GPS-based. You pull it up when something's happening. Usually it's something bad that's happening to you that you want to let people know about. There's nothing in there for it's my birthday. So it's usually like a bad thing. Right. Maybe you're broken down, the car's broke down, you're having some sort of medical issue, the police are pulling you over. There's 8 or 9, maybe even half a dozen, more than a dozen different items that you can select. And all you have to do is just punch the screen, select the thing that you want. That'll then be blasted out to your other friends that have Cell 411, and you can also record live video and stream that live video out to your friends so they can watch, so they can see what's happening to you almost instantaneously.
Have a witness.
Which is amazing. I mean, the technology there is so incredible. It's so accessible now. There's, again, you don't have to pay a fee to use this program.
Right.
You don't have to pay a fee to stream out the video. I mean, it's thanks to Virgil Vaduva, basically, for funding this out of his own pocket, and it's a great program. I recommend it highly. And get cell411.com. That could, in combination with what Ridley here is talking about, what Dave is talking about in New Hampshire, Cell 411, and notice kind of, hello, heads up, this is happening, could be seen by those people that have the gun training that are in the area. If it were more used, it has to get more users in order for it to be more useful, and then they could respond much faster than the police can.
But how many people does it really take? I mean, it seems like on the supply side of services, there are a lot of people that are willing to do this, and that's where I think Cell 411 has the potential to grow. So I guess what I'm saying is if you reach a critical mass, if you say that there are 50 people who have gone through this gun training course, and they are within minutes away from this particular high school or grade school or whatever school it is, then that is certainly a selling point to regular people like teachers and things like that who wish to augment their protection other than relying on the state. And like I said, when seconds count, the police are only minutes away. Dave Ridley, thank you so much
Dave.
for the call. We'll be back, and we're going to be talking about a few other things here, but we appreciate it. You give us a call back at 855-450-4733.
3733. Close. Free Talk Live.
#1 international best-selling author Matthew David Hurtado's pain was simple. Lyme disease bankrupted him in 2009, watching bankers take everything from his family after building a 7-figure business from his couch. God called him to ministry to teach prosperity based on pain he could not tolerate in others' lives. IRS, creditors, car loans, debt. It's the Babylonian system, and you have to escape it before it's too late. Haven't you ever wanted to wake up from this nightmare? Matthew David's free quick study guide shows you what to do today to build lasting wealth in any economy. His discovery he made? It's all consciousness. Get Matthew's 7-figure quick study guide for clarity, certainty, and a proven strategy to build wealth once and for all. Visit escaperightnow.com. Do it now. It's free. escaperightnow.com for a prosperous future ahead with peace of mind. escaperightnow.com.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with the Liberty Beat for Thursday, February 21st, 2019. Gold opened today at $1,336. Silver opened at $15.93. And Bitcoin is trading around $3,895. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, Bloomberg is reporting the Walt Disney Company, Nestle, and Fortnite creator Epic Games Inc. have paused their advertising spending on YouTube after a viral video report detailing an alleged softcore pedophilia ring operating via the platform's comment section. An alarming 20-minute report posted by video blogger Matt Watson on his YouTube channel Sunday purports to expose a wormhole into a softcore pedophilia ring on YouTube.
I have discovered a wormhole, as I would call it, into a softcore pedophile ring on YouTube. Pedophiles are trading social media contacts. They're providing links to actual child porn in YouTube comments. They're trading unlisted videos in secret. And YouTube's algorithm, through some kind of glitch or error in its programming, is actually facilitating their ability to do this.
In response to the deeply troubling report, YouTube says they took immediate action by deleting accounts and channels, reporting illegal activity to authorities, and disabling comments. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices, with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Bee listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the Liberty Beat for Thursday, February 21st, 2019. Venezuela's armed forces have responded angrily to threats made against them by U.S. President Donald Trump and calls to break the chain of command. That's according to a report from Minpress News. Speaking at a press conference held in Caracas and flanked by commanders from all of the branches of the military, Defense Minister Vladimir Pedrino Lopez told the press that Washington, quote, will not be able to install a puppet in anti-patriotic government. They will have to step over our dead bodies first, end quote. Trump had warned Venezuelan soldiers that they risked losing everything should they continue loyal to Maduro at a press conference in Miami Monday. He once more urged them to recognize National Assembly President Juan Guaido as interim president, and yet again refused to rule out direct military action against Venezuela, stressing that all options are on the table. The U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday ruled unanimously that the excessive fines clause in the Eighth Amendment applies to state and local governments. Announced in an opinion written by Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on her second day back on the bench following a December cancer surgery, the ruling limits states' abilities to seize property and impose fines deemed excessive on citizens who break the law. The Mind Unleashed reports that other justices were highly critical of property seizures and fines, with Justice Clarence Thomas suggesting that civil forfeitures had become widespread and highly profitable. Despite their intentions of sweeping the deaths of Dennis and Regina Tuttle under the rug, the Houston Police Department is currently under the microscope of the nation. And the Free Thought Project reports that the FBI is stepping in, as well as Houston area prosecutors, who will examine 1,400 other cases which are linked to the cop who fabricated evidence to spark the raid that led to the couple's death. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow reporting for this Thursday, February 21st, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
According to a new report released this week by the Pew Research Center, a rising number of weak, emasculated men are working as stay-at-home dads, with a steadily increasing number of feeble, pathetic fayboys choosing to spend their days cooking, cleaning, and performing other submissive duties.
Well, our findings indicate that more and more pussified half-men are not going to work, and instead are embarrassing themselves by purchasing groceries, packing children's lunches, and denying all aspects of their masculinity on a daily basis.
The Onion spoke to one of these effete, pathetic excuses for men to get his response on the new report.
I love being able to stay home with Angela. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
What a f***ing pussy. For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, and we are anxious to hear from you. You can call us on our toll-free number, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And in studio, it's myself, Chris.
Hey, I'm Ian.
And we've been all over the board, as we are all the time. We always bring in a couple topics to talk about. The first thing we talked about, God, refresh my memory. What was our first? I got so involved in the sex. Oh, it was AOC Alexandria
Ocasio-Cortez.
Cortez. I'm just so used to saying AOC.
And the Amazon situation in New York. That's what that one was.
Yes, she was, in her mind, very successful at keeping those evil jobs out of New York. And a lot of people were not happy with her, and a lot of people put in a lot of money to buy a billboard on Times Square exercising their freedom of speech.
Yeah, and then
their
we talked
displeasure.
about this hand jobs business, which is a nail salon that is trying to open its doors or was just opened or something like that in Ohio.
Yes.
And the uproar by some people over the name of the business and others saying that this is fun. It's just, it's a little tacky, but it's funny tacky. It's
right.
It's a little tasteless, but that's okay. It's all right. It's her business. She should be able to call it whatever she wants, and it is memorable, and it's definitely getting a lot of press. But I think it's important to point out that there really isn't much of a fundamental difference here between these two stories. Amazon is about a $2.5 billion facility, and Handjobs Nail Salon is about a $200,000 facility, or however much it costs to have whatever location it is that she's in some little town in Ohio. So you're dealing with the largest city in the most empirist of states in the case of the Amazon situation, driving Amazon out. The city government bureaucrats, the state bureaucrats driving Amazon out of what their intended plan was to locate this, what was it, a distribution center or something like that? Or headquarters?
Second headquarters
in New York. And that's going to drive away jobs. It's going to drive away business. And that's what the signage in Times Square was pointing out.
Right.
But the same story is happening in Ohio. It's just on a different scale.
Right.
You already have, in this case, the business has opened, or at least that's the way it appears from the news coverage, the very limited news coverage that we've been able to see about the story.
Right.
Her sign is up, and now you've got bureaucrats coming after her, threatening her, saying the sign is probably going to have to come down, et cetera, et cetera. It could be considered offensive. And this lady could very well be driven out of, what was it, Peabody or Perkins?
Perkins Township.
Which is
part of Sandusky.
Right. She may just decide, you know what? Perkins wasn't right for this place. These people are too uppity. They're too prudish.
Right.
They don't have a sense of humor.
Take my jobs elsewhere.
And so I'm just going to pack up and move to, the next city over, or the next town over, or whatever. Whichever town is going to be welcoming to having a business.
Right.
Because it's the same exact thing. If you keep restricting business people's freedoms, you're going to drive them out. Most of them will put up with some level of restriction. They'll put up with some regulations. They'll put up with some taxes. But everybody's got their point at which it's their breaking point, and they're going to say, screw this. I've had it. I'm moving.
And so far, the only thing we've found are at least one post that was saying that it was offensive on social media. Though everybody reports that the vast majority have been very supportive.
Sure.
Other small businesses have been very supportive. But it is, in the end, and this is how these stories usually work, it comes down to one bureaucrat, Megan Sherland, who is the Perkins Township zoning director. And in the corollaries between this and the Pho restaurant here in town.
You mean Pho? Keen, great.
Mm-hmm. Are striking. I mean, now I'm looking at the Ohio State Cosmetology and Barber Board, who issued a license to Dawn Moon to open her beauty salon. So you have one set of bureaucrats saying absolutely no problem. What is the name listed on this Ohio State Cosmetology and Barber Board? Handjobs Nail and Spa.
Yeah. So
you have one part of government saying,
okay,
obviously we don't have a problem.
Money. We'll take your money.
Yeah, because here we've got signatures, from the chairman, the executive director, for public display in licensed business.
Well, I mean, the state bureaucrats don't have the same level of accountability as the local bureaucrats, the local town council members or zoning board advisors. They are more likely to be closer to the people. And so, just to take it from her perspective, the woman who is on the zoning board, Megan, I think it was,
Megan
was her name?
Sherland.
To take it from her perspective, look, Chris, she's just trying to honor what the community is telling her, and there's some people who are offended here, and so as long as one person's offended, shouldn't that business be prohibited from having an offensive name?
These days, yes, because that's what it is. It is, they don't respect the rights of the minority, but they sure as hell respect the loudness of a minority. If people get up in arms and start yelling, even if it's, and this is usually the way this comes out, it's 2 or 3 people. It's 4 or 5 people. Some Sunday school teacher who got really offended. I'm going to go home and I'm going to call Megan I'm going to get Megan Sherland on the phone, and she'll put an end to this.
Right.
We can't have our children subjected to 2 words that they don't even know why there's a big deal.
So libertarian types, voluntarists, people who care about freedom, they would like to see, I think ideally, a world where there are no government regulations on business. And of course, people, when they hear that, they're like, you just want pollution. You want evil corporations destroying the land and the people. And no. I mean, what we want is for people to be held liable for their actions. So if you're polluting somebody's property, you should be able to be held liable for that and have to unpollute it as much as possible, or shell out some big payments to the victims in that case. So just to say we don't want government regulation doesn't mean that we don't want to see the marketplace regulate things, which leads to the question of, well, how would this situation play out in a supposed free market?
Right.
This sort of mythological thing that we don't have, that many of us would like to have, where there's not some zoning board, some bureaucrats that you have to go to beg permission for a sign or to even open your doors in the first place. And in a lot of places, that's what people have to do in order to avoid men with guns calling themselves the government coming in and shutting them down. So how does the prude, the person who cannot, has no sense of humor, is offended by the name Handjobs Nail Salon, how can a prude have the world they want to live in if they're surrounded by people who have a good sense of humor and think that's funny or are supportive of it?
Well, my first reaction to that would be people that are prude and have no sense of humor, and they're surrounded by a whole bunch of people with sense of humors, then I think I would want to move there, because I like to think I have a good sense of humor.
Okay.
And I found the story funny as heck because I think it's funny.
So is the answer then the prude should leave?
It's up to the prude. That to me is what they want to do. They can either learn to not be offended by everything they see.
But they're children, Chris. I mean, it's all about the children, right? They may understand, ha, ha, it's funny, but they're trying to protect their kids from seeing things that evoke thoughts of sexuality.
Oh, my gosh. Then I would suggest to those people that they are going to be much happier somewhere else. And it's not saying we're going to throw them out. I wouldn't throw them out. They want to be good neighbors. That's great. But there's a responsibility in a free society, and we live with that every day. We live in a country that supposedly started out with the ideals that we're going to protect people's rights, and part of that is protecting freedom of speech and freedom of thought and freedom of religion and all these things. And if you are offended by those, then that is a risk that comes with a free society, that you are going to be exposed to things that you don't approve of. I'm sorry. These are just I hate to come across that way. And some people will say, well, that's cold and callous, and that's not taking into consideration what children may see. But if it were really flagrant, if Handjobs Nail Salon decides to take this beyond the joke and put something very graphic, I don't think they get much business.
No, it would change how people approach that for sure.
It would, and I don't think they get much business at all. 855-450-FREE. We want to hear from you. This is Free Talk Live.
Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. Smart Cash also features smart rewards, a price stabilization mechanism, and a way to encourage long-term holding. Long-term holders are key to the project's success. You can earn smart rewards on any address for which you hold the private keys, which holds at least 1,000 smart for 1 month and does not make any outgoing transactions during that time. Smart rewards are distributed every 47,500 blocks to all eligible addresses. Learn more at smartcash.cc.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. That's AnyPay.global.
There are basically 2 types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Pure Life Water, helping you drink better and live better by providing a zero-calorie alternative to sugary drinks. Visit us at nestle-purelife.us. When kids are playing, they often don't want to stop to keep hydrated, so send them out with a bottle of water and encourage them to take frequent drink breaks, or call them inside for a quick sip. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can reach us. You can take part in the conversation we're having by calling 855-450-FREE. That's toll free, 855-450-3733. And I wanted to give a little shout out.
Oh, yeah?
Adam O. I think that's how he says his handle, but he is a platinum amplifier.
Wow. $25 a month.
$25 a month to help support Free Talk Live's mission of spreading the ideas of liberty every day to people like you. We do that by through advertising, through marketing, and promoting the show. If you would like to help out, if you feel that what we do is important, and if you feel that a lot of people you know might not completely understand what liberty means, what freedom means, we'll do our best for them. You can find out more at amp.freetalklive.com. And again, we've been discussing core libertarian ideals tonight. We were talking about this business in Sandusky, Ohio, that would like to have their name of the nail salon be what they've chosen it to be, what they've probably spent. They've obviously spent money on filing fees, and they've put a business plan together.
They made a sign.
It's
up.
It is up, and the name of the business is Hand Jobs, Nails and Spa. And they're getting some...
There's not a comma in there, by the way.
No, there is not.
Yes.
There is a pause.
Hand Jobs, Nails, and Spa.
pause that I'm used from other stories like this, used to inserting pauses.
So those aren't three different items that they offer necessarily.
No.
Hand jobs is the sort of the main title, and then nails and spa.
Nails and spa underneath that, right. But as we've dealt with other stories that do require pauses when we discuss them on the radio, then I'm just kind of used to that. But right now I want to go to David in New Mexico. Bear with me for just a second. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello, David.
Hello.
No, hey, no hand jobs. I suppose boom boom's out of the question then, huh?
I think if you would like to get your nails done, this would be a good place. Get a little mani-pedi, David. That would probably be nice, right?
Hey,
nice and relaxing.
Well, in Thailand, at the barber shops,
I'm not
salons,
sure. Is this a story you can tell?
Yeah,
okay.
I can tell it. I saw all about it on YouTube.
Okay, then we can probably leave it at that.
So, well, anyway, just look at YouTube for Thailand and barbershops and salon and massage, and you'll find.
I'm just not going to go there. I'm concerned because I've been Googling stories about hand jobs, nails, and spa, and I'm afraid of what my spam folder is going to look like once the spammers get a hold of my web searches. So you wanted to talk a little bit about correcting Sarah. What did Sarah say that was not correct?
But first of all, you probably don't need to look at your spam folder. Google will probably push ads to you for hand jobs now.
I have no doubt, so I can get my nails done. So what did Sarah say that you feel she needs corrected on? We can think of many things, but let's hear your thoughts.
Well, yeah, let me clarify that. And first, let me say that I've had a list for several weeks that I wanted to share with you, and Sarah's thing was just one of the items on there. But the sum of all the items I had on that one list basically encompasses your last hour of radio. But regarding Sarah, it's not 6 sheriffs in New Mexico that are against the gun laws that are being proposed. It's 29. And there are 33 there are 33 counties in the state of New Mexico, and there are 29. And it's not just the sheriffs independently. There's the sheriffs organization or sheriffs association. New Mexico Sheriffs Association has come out against these gun laws. In fact, all of 29 of these sheriffs and other law enforcement went up to the roundhouse. The legislature is in session right now, and they went up to the roundhouse a week or so ago, and the roundhouse would not let them in. They would not let them in because the sheriffs were carrying guns.
Oh,
and
you can't have that.
Yeah, and guns have always been allowed open carry or concealed in the roundhouse.
Really?
And they made some rule change. They made some rule change apparently, and now not only are guns not allowed in there apparently, they're not even allowing law enforcement in that are packing heat.
Interesting.
And,
so the same sort of thing happened in New Hampshire. I assume that maybe
they're not keeping the cops out of the state house.
No, but they did change house rules in the New Hampshire State House, saying that legislators are no longer allowed to concealed carry or to have a weapon inside the state house. So I know a few state reps here in New Hampshire that have basically said, okay, that's a hill I'm fine dying on, so I'm going to just keep concealed carrying. Tell me I'm not. How are you going to enforce that?
Well, they would have to put men with guns and metal detectors at the entrance.
Absolutely. So I don't know where that story is exactly, but we had sort of the same thing. Did the roundhouse, that's what you call it,
state capitol?
Yeah. Did they undergo a shift in political leanings this last election? Did it go red to blue or something?
It's been blue though, hasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, no, New Mexico has historically been basically blue, but it has been actually a swing state. However, this last election, it's 100%. There are no Republicans holding statewide office or national office anywhere in New Mexico. It's completely Democrats.
Wow.
And from governor on down, and that's why they're running through every bit of legislation that they want to run through because there's nobody to stop them.
Right.
And so that's why
opposition.
the sheriffs have come out against it, and it goes beyond the sheriffs. So where Sarah got the number 6 is there are six of the counties, and they will all continue to fall like dominoes or follow like dominoes. So far, 6 of the county commissions have backed up their sheriffs by the county commissions have voted to make their to follow the left in making sanctuary cities and sanctuary counties and sanctuary states. Mm-hmm. They have voted to make their counties sanctuary counties for the Second Amendment.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Where they are not
we ought to have more sanctuary everything. Let's just have sanctuary Second Amendment, sanctuary immigration, sanctuary drug use, sanctuary, whatever you want to call it, sanctuary or nullification. The more we can push back against the centralized governments out there, the better, whether it be the state government or whether it be the federal government, as long as it's pushing back in the favor of freedom. Because what I don't want to see is localities having the home rule ability to create more government in their area, and thankfully we don't have that here, supposedly, in New Hampshire.
Indeed, David. Thank you so much for your call.
Thanks.
And that's good to see. I hear the same thing out of Washington State. So Washington State enacted a ton of new gun laws. And you've got a number of sheriffs that are said, we're not enforcing them.
Excellent.
And good for you. That's what you need to do. That is called nullification.
But wait a minute, Chris. Doesn't that mean there's no rule of law?
Oh, dear. No, that means common sense becomes the rule of law.
Let's talk about that some more.
Yeah, let's do
interesting.
That. 855-450-3733. Give us a call, and we'll talk. Free Talk Live.
The United States of Empire is a book that claims the United States is the empire of the world. George Washington had warned us against foreign wars. The United States of Empire shows that World Wars I and II left England broken. Its former colony, the U.S., had to save the empire. Was there ever a vote? Who do we fight for? The deep state began with World War I. The United States of Empire by James Dunn. Available at Amazon Books.
Detoxify, lose weight, and restore balance to your body by simply drinking tea. Surprised? Dr. Miller's Holy Tea can help you feel better and even lose weight, because Holy Tea is a unique herbal tea blend of all natural ingredients specially formulated by Dr. Bill Miller. Call this number, 888-660-7039, or click drmillersclinic.com. Take the first step toward better health. Drink tea from Dr. Miller's Clinic.
The warning signs.
At first, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me, about my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. And we're in our third hour. We've been talking about liberty, and we're going to keep talking about liberty, and we want you to talk about liberty. We at least want you to think about liberty and what that means to you, and it means to your neighbors. And if you have any question about whether we should be talking about liberty or whether we need to talk about liberty, look at Washington. Look at your local governments. Look at your state governments. And
do I have to?
Just imagine, could we possibly come up with a better solution? I think we can. And it's pretty much by doing away with all those things. But I also want to tell you about shop.freetalklive.com. It's kind of an interesting idea, but there's other ways to support the show and support what we do. We talked earlier about the AMP program, which stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote, where people donate a certain amount of money every month, and they get all sorts of little benefits and things like that. But you can help us out in spreading the ideas of liberty just by going to shop.freetalklive.com and clicking on the links that are there. What all do we have up there? Walmart's up there?
Yeah, we used to have Amazon, but they kicked us out.
Yeah, they got kind of cranky.
Now you can do the other mega corporation. And we'll get a cut, a small cut of that will be directed towards Free Talk Live at shop.freetalklive.com. You know, Chris, I wanted to focus a little bit more on the hypocrisy of these conservatives, because you just brought up an interest, or actually it wasn't you, but it was David in New Mexico, brought up the story about these sheriffs who are refusing to enforce certain gun laws that were passed in New Mexico recently.
Yes.
And you gave another example of some other sheriffs elsewhere.
Also happened in Washington State.
Yeah, that did something similar. Some what they consider to be unconstitutional gun laws were passed, and the sheriffs are saying, nope, we're not going to enforce that. And I think that's great. I just want to be clear. I support them in making that decision. I also supported the sheriffs who made the decision to institute the sanctuary counties or sanctuaries,
supported sanctuary cities
for immigrants.
Just made it so. And what this idea is, this crazy lunatic idea that we're coming up with, first of all, we didn't come up with it. The first major effort in the United States was done by James Madison. You may have heard of him, Thomas Jefferson. So way back in the day, there were a couple laws that got passed by President Adams, and they were called the Aliens and Sedition Acts. And what these did was say that you cannot do business with anyone French because they are bad guys. We don't like them. We're at war with them. So if you open your house to a Frenchman, then you can go to jail. And the Sedition Act was acting seditiously against the government. And basically what that law said was, if you dare, Ian, say something bad about our president, you can go to jail.
They have that in Thailand right now, I think.
Yes, they do.
I think it might be the death penalty.
Yeah.
At the very least, prison.
It was interesting that Adams said it's okay to say bad things about the vice president, Thomas Jefferson, but you can't say bad things about me. And that got taken to court because someone accused John Adams of being rotund. He was kind of hefty guy. So what did people do? Jefferson and Madison took this to a couple states that were interested in coming up with saying something stronger. And they wrote basically the Kentucky and Virginia resolutions that promoted this idea of nullification. And Jefferson argued that we had a moral obligation not to follow, not to enforce laws that are immoral.
Good people disobey bad laws.
Yes, and
I think that's
what
truth.
they were saying.
Yeah.
That's what
But there are so many people who are enamored with the idea of this rule of law.
Yes.
Many of the very same conservatives who would be supporting these sheriffs for going against these bad gun laws are likely the same people who also were against the sheriffs who were nullifying the federal government.
Absolutely.
In the case of these immigration laws. So you can't have it both ways.
Right.
Okay?
If you believe in liberty, if you truly believe in the idea of liberty,
which they probably don't, but if you believe in liberty, you certainly shouldn't have it both ways.
Right.
But even if you want your own freedom, you don't have to believe in the liberty of others. You'll get there hopefully someday. But for now, if you want your own freedom, you still have to be consistent in your application of this concept.
Right.
If the concept is that sheriff ought to be able to disobey those laws.
Right.
Well, the sheriff ought to be able to disobey any laws that they think are unconstitutional. That should be one of the checks and balances against an out-of-control government, is a sheriff who actually understands the document he swore to uphold.
And Jefferson and Madison certainly understood that. When they said you're going to face bad laws, laws that are just immoral, and here's what you do. They laid it out for us crystal clear. They put them into writing. They encourage state legislatures to push these things in Washington. We're not going to do it. You can tell us whatever you want. You can pass any kind of crazy law, but guess what? We're not going to follow it. So there you go.
Right. What are you going to do about it?
If you have no enforcement, sorry.
Right. What are you going to do about it? If they don't follow it, are you going to go around and round the sheriffs up and throw them in jail? Well, then what?
Right.
Because presumably other people also don't want to enforce those laws. That's why the sheriffs feel comfortable doing that, right? Because if the sheriffs didn't think that this would be a politically popular move, they probably wouldn't do it in their area. So to some extent, the input of the community does weigh into some play on what these people are doing. They feel like it's a politically safe move. They feel like they can get re-election when they do this. And so I find politics to be despicable, no doubt about it. And one of the things that I think to be the most despicable is hypocrisy. And these people at all levels in government have it. Right. So I want to hear from the conservatives who actually will be consistent and support the sheriffs who are also refusing to enforce the immigration laws. And I bet it's very hard to find one of those people.
Yeah, and I hope that there's at least that test case, that sheriff who is supporting sanctuary gun areas where we're not going to enforce your laws and sanctuary for immigration.
Yeah,
we're not going to enforce those. Yeah, I'd like to come across that.
Whoever that sheriff is, he'd be worth talking to.
Please call in at 855-450-FREE if you are that sheriff.
But even then, there's still not the ideal. There's no sheriff out there that actually is consistent with applying this concept. Right. The gun thing has crossed a line for some of these guys, and that's good. I'm not, I'm not trying to badmouth them for doing this one thing right. Okay, that's good. You're doing the right thing in that particular case. But if at the same time you're also going around arresting people for having a plant, or arresting people for having a chemical in their pocket, or arresting a teenager for having a bottle of alcohol or something like that, one of these nonviolent, victimless crimes, you are also in the wrong. And I'd love to see a sheriff be like, nope, just to look at every single law that the government passes or is demanding that he enforce and say, let's see, murder, check. Let's see, rape, check. Arson, check. Yep, we're going to investigate those. Yep. Property destruction, check. What else? Let's see, we're going to investigate theft. We're going to investigate breakings and enterings. Just kind of go, wait, drug laws? No, we're not going to spend our time on that.
Don't need to waste our time.
Peaceful immigrants? Nope, we're not going to spend our time on that. Enforcing gun laws? Nope, not going to spend our time on that. That's what I want to see happen. That's what I want to see. If we're going to have a one-size-fits-all government, if we're going to have a state, which I don't want to see, but if we're going to have it, God, it sure would be nice to have somebody with some consistent principles in one of these roles.
Right.
Because they could make a big difference.
Yeah, and how much less expensive would it be to operate a government? How much less intrusive would it be?
Yeah,
a
lot less.
And in the meantime, the things that really do matter, as far as law enforcement goes, that to me is protecting people's lives and protecting property rights. If they are doing that, they are doing everything I expect them to do. What I don't expect them to do is bust a teenager with a roach in his ashtray. That's kind of silly. We have one more segment coming up. I hope to hear from you. You can reach us at 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Know someone with a drinking or drug problem? Learn how to get sober after we share these stories.
I was 35 with 2 beautiful children when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. After my divorce, I went into a depression cycle and started drinking more often and using prescription drugs. After my second DWI and arrest, my ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me.
I was 17 when I became addicted to heroin and meth. I thought I could quit on my own, but I couldn't. It hit me when I was arrested.
Get sober now. Your private insurance may cover costs and we'll get you here. It's simple. Just call Elite Rehab Placement right now. Please don't wait. Your life matters to us. 800-213-9264. 800-213-9264. 800-213-9264. Call right now before it's too late. 800-213-9264.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm. Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and we've got a little bit of time left. We're going to be here. You're there. Why don't you give us a call at 855-450-FREE? That's 855-450-3733. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for you to call, Ian, you have a story.
I do, but I do want to let you know about the new video clips that we have as well at clips.freetalklive.com, which we just kind of brought back within the last couple of weeks. It was something that Eric Freerock, who is one of the Cop Block guys back in the day, that he used to do for us. And it wasn't something he did for us. Like, we never asked him to. He just kind of started making clips of Free Talk Live and putting them on his own YouTube channel called Liberty Bits. And, you know, it's hard to make money doing libertarian talk radio clips, let alone doing the talk radio show. And so at some point he, got burned out and gave up on it. So we decided, we've got a little bit of AMP money. We don't have a lot, but we got a little bit of AMP money. So because we've been like doing a few different things with the AMP money, like we sponsored the Sovereign Tech podcast this year, and we sponsored Johnny Rocket's podcast as well. So trying to seed out some of the AMP money into the Liberty community.
Right.
And another way we can do that is by bringing Eric Freerock out of retirement. And he's willing to work cheap because he must like the work of editing video.
I think he does.
Because he's cranking out like a couple few videos per day.
It's like every day I wake up and I'm like, there's another one.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so he's taking highlights of the show. He's making videos. He's actually adding in graphics too on these many of these videos. So that takes even extra work. So it's not just here. Let's just point A, point B of this video, chop this out and make a video of it. He's actually doing some extra work to kind of jazz it up and make it more visually interesting than just the two of us sitting here and talking.
They do. They look really good. I mean, the basic format is he starts out with like a clip that sort of puts you in mind. That's all shot. That's like a black and white feed, and then he goes back right into the episode, and it's really interesting. Of course, I always look for the ones that I'm in. I got something to. Well, it's fun to be able to share those with my friends.
With your friends, that's a good point. Yeah, right. And so you can share them with your friends and family members because it's hard to share a 2-hour-long podcast. That's not as easy to just drop in somebody's lap. But if there's a specific issue that your one friend is concerned with, or your family member is concerned with, or they're interested in, you can send that clip to them, and then they can hear our discussion about that.
Yep.
There's a little tag at the end that are going to go into the new videos coming out as of I think today that'll advertise Free Talk Live for like 10 seconds so people can click over and watch the full show or listen to the full show, maybe subscribe. Maybe we'll get a few more listeners from this. I don't know. That's the idea, is to make it easier to share some of your favorite moments from Free Talk Live episodes. So thank you to Eric Freerock for doing that for us. And thank you to you if you are actually subscribing over at clips.freetalklive.com. You can hit the subscribe button on YouTube and follow it that way. Or you can also follow our social media, not all of it because I don't know what's happening on Facebook. I can't speak to that. But it's on Twitter at twitter.freetalklive.com. So updates whenever these videos come up to YouTube, a link goes on Twitter.
Yep.
It also, that same link goes on to our Mastodon over at toot.freetalklive.com. It's toot.freetalklive.com. Mastodon's like a decentralized version of Twitter. I think it's a lot better in my opinion, but it's newer, so it needs a little bit of time to get seasoned and grow. And then also our Telegram channel. There's a Free Talk Live Telegram channel, which is at telegram.freetalklive.com. So each of these video clips is being posted to all of those locations. So if you're following us in one of those 4 ways, YouTube, Telegram, Twitter, and Mastodon, then you will be seeing these clips being posted, and it'll be easy for them to be easily shared by you.
Yeah, the feedback so far has been great, and Eric is a great guy.
He is.
I mean, I really like that guy. And it was interesting. We had a visitor this last summer. Who am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
The gentleman who does.
Oh, the blind gentleman, Riley.
Yes.
Yes. He does our Daily Digest.
Yeah, so Riley Blake does our Daily Digest, which is a condensed version of the show, and he does this tirelessly. And I donate a little bit of money to him, and I know other people do too. But he does.
He can't do video editing though. As good as he is,
he's not as good with the video editing. But he said he was coming out to New Hampshire, and I'm like, well, that's really cool. We'll have to get together. Is there anything you really want to do? And he's like, I'd love to learn how to shoot.
A gun, not a camera. Like an actual gun.
Oh, like a gun. I'd really like to shoot an AR-15. I'm like, okay. Most people would say that a prerequisite is to have functioning eyeballs to do that.
Why? No, that's not true. As long as you got a range and nobody's on the range, you're fine.
The bullet's gonna go somewhere, but to do it safely, we want to make sure we know where it's going. And part of that was Riley, being a really good student.
He, at the very least, if you're blind, and obviously I don't know what it's like to be blind, thank goodness, but if you're blind, you can certainly feel the heft of the gun. You can know whether or not the gun is generally pointed downrange. You can tell if you're pointing it upwards, right? So it's not like he's going to accidentally shoot it. It's not like he's going to accidentally shoot it into the sky.
Well, it was good learning experience for us too. But Eric,
wait, did you take him or did Matt Roach? I thought Matt Roach took him shooting.
No, I took him.
Oh, you did. Okay.
But I took him to Eric Freerock's place because he's got a nice little piece of ground that it was really good to use.
I was confusing what you did with what Matt Roach, who's one of our folks here in the area, also a big gun guy.
Yeah.
He took a couple of Free Talk Live listeners who'd come to the area. That's what it was.
Nice.
A couple different listeners who'd come. Yeah.
But it was
from
really
California. They never shot a gun before, so it was like, oh my God, we can fire a gun here in New Hampshire.
Believe it or not,
we can touch a gun in New Hampshire.
And it holds how many rounds? Anything over 10 in California, and you're going to jail.
Yeah, prison probably.
Yeah, but it was a really interesting experience, and it was always great to talk to Riley anyway. But just the experience of how do you instruct a blind shooter and how to fire, and we talked about it. There are certainly ways that he could defend himself, too.
There have been situations, I think, in the past. I recall a story about a blind man defending himself in his home just using his auditory functions. You hear where that criminal is, and you point at that general direction and just start firing. And, your door's probably only made of wood, so it's probably going to go right through it and take care of them. Speaking of guns, the AP is reporting on a Coast Guard lieutenant who was arrested recently as a domestic terrorist.
I saw this headline.
Who's drafted an email discussing biological attacks and had what appeared to be a hit list that included prominent Democrats and media figures, say prosecutors. Christopher Paul Hassan is due to appear Thursday, that's today, in federal court in Maryland after his arrest on gun and drug offenses. But prosecutors say those charges are the, quote, proverbial tip of the iceberg. Quote, the defendant is a domestic terrorist bent on committing acts dangerous to human life that are intended to affect governmental conduct, say prosecutors in their court papers. He works at the Coast Guard's headquarters and they say has espoused extremist views for years. He drafted an email in 2017 saying he was, quote, dreaming of a way to kill almost every last person on the earth. Pondering how he might be able to acquire anthrax and toxins to create botulism or a deadly influenza.
Okay, so we're not just talking about I'm kind of irate with our government and I'm really disappointed the Democrats got in power.
Yeah, we're talking a total psychopath.
Yeah.
And works for the government. Remember Timothy McVeigh?
Right.
Wasn't he like a Marine or in the military or something like that, right? Here's another one. And then you got that, remember the cop out in California that shot up other cops?
Yeah.
So I mean a lot of these cases with the psycho murderer, mass murderer individuals, a lot of these guys are government trained.
A disturbingly large number. And if you look at just
like
things
the ones that are real. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like think about all the fake out FBI we found a terrorist. Oh no, you created the terrorist, but with some kid that you found on the internet who was kind of mad about something, and so you ginned up this kid to be angrier and angrier, and you gave him weapons and you gave him ideas and you did everything for him. This guy, you don't have the FBI saying they set this dude up. This dude is just a genuine nut job. And he works for the government.
Right. And in the Coast Guard. So I'm really curious, and I haven't done enough research into it, but did this guy have a security clearance? If
he was at headquarters.
Yeah, if you're at headquarters with any branch of the government.
So he wasn't just out on a boat. He wasn't floating out,
Right. What did he have?
Boarding boats. He's at the offices, the headquarters.
How does this guy not get noticed? And if you think that's funny, you'd be amazed at how many people trust police officers every day despite the fact that they are highly likely to abuse their spouses. One of those laws that they, are going to foist onto anybody else they come across, but often not themselves.
Guess what else? He also identified himself as a white nationalist, they say, for over 30 years. So apparently it wasn't much of a secret.
I don't know. He, on the one hand, and being in the military, you would probably really have to keep that really quiet for you to get by for that long. Because the armed forces, I mean, it's all mixed up. You have people of all walks of life. I don't know. But we're out of time. Thanks for joining us here on Free Talk Live. We want to hear from you next time. 8:55. Why do I always have this
I used to do it a lot too.
Right.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks. Have a great night.
Thanks. Are you about to meet the media? If you're about to be interviewed, do their homework for them. Know this about the person who will interview you. He or she is busy, so expect minimal, if any, preparation. He or she doesn't know as much about your topic as you do. He or she isn't as concerned as you are about getting your message out, so you need to take responsibility. Provide a biography and fact sheet, photographs, or other materials that tell your story. Reporters won't be put off if you supply frequently asked questions. Remember, Public Speaking 101, at the end of the speech, what's the one thing you want them to remember? You can download the document I supply to reporters who interview me and squirm through a video that demonstrates how not to conduct your media interview at www.survivalspeech.com.